The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Morning Market Kickoff with your host, Tommy O'Brien. Now, Tommy O'Brien.
Good Thursday morning, everybody. I'm Tommy O'Brien, coming to you live from TFNN just after 9 a.m. Eastern Time. About 24 minutes to go until the start of trading, and you got markets slightly in the red this morning. Walmart down dramatically. Let's jump to Walmart to kick it off. And yeah, we talked about it earlier in the program. Walmart, great company in the long term, but expectations and whatever they said on the conference call, saving things a bit, but you're still going to be down about 4 to 5% on the open right now. You're trading down at $99 from 104. Markets slightly in the red this morning. S&P's off by about 13 points. Slight uptick. We got jobless claims this morning as well. Jobless claims up by about 5,000. Let's jump to those even as we kick off the program. 218 was the number, I believe. Where are we at? 219. Initial claims increasing by 5,000 to 219,000. So pretty muted. Market was looking for about 215. It comes at 219. Continuing claims 1.87 million. Remember, continuing claims a little bit delayed. Yeah, Washington, D.C. It is interesting. Hearing a lot of talk even this morning. You had Treasury Secretary Besant on Bloomberg, 7 a.m. Pretty great interview. And he did, rightfully so. They're talking about the debt. He said, listen, all of the policies are going to be disinflationary. You got to remember, even when Yellen was saying it, he's never going to come out and say that any policy is going to be inflationary with inflation, such a problem right now going on. Great interview, though. But nonetheless, job market, we come in at 219,000, pretty muted number. But Walmart, that's a big number, man. We check back in on the markets right now. You got crude up by about 34 pennies at 72.44. How about gold making another all-time high? And then look at this pullback, man. You trade up to 29.73, and boom, you give up $30 from where we were at when I was up this morning. I was up early, 5:30 in the morning. You jump over the dollar. How about this move, right? We got lower yield. You got a weaker dollar right now. Dollar 106.83. You jump over to the 10-year, and we were just above we were just above 4.5 earlier this morning. And right now, 4.52 is the number, 4.52. So 10-year, 4.52. But keep your eye on the dollar. Put this on a longer-term basis. And as you can see, many times when you're rolling over, this thing's been in a range from about 100 to 107 to 108. You did break to 110. We're back below any of the action we had in November, okay? And if you really want to get into it, the dollar on the election was at about 104. Break all the way to 110. And this looks like a nice head and shoulders. And that could bring you back to the 104, even the 100 area. Dollar's looking weak, man. Since that highs, lower lows, lower highs, weakness in the dollar, yields back to 4.5. The market's saying, hey, I know we traded up to 110 when the tariffs seemed like they were going to come bearing down. But I think we could all say, now what do we got? We got reciprocal tariffs out into April. We have Mexico and Canada with a delay. This is all adding to weakness in the dollar. It's bringing back yields to a degree, but really weakness in the dollar. Be pretty remarkable if you make it all the way back to prior to the election, considering what's happening. But sometimes those markets, they can be deviant, as we know. We jump over to the VIX, 1554. Relative muted volatility in this market. All right, let's jump into these Walmart numbers. So if you're not in the Tigers Den, folks, you're over there in the YouTube Tigers chat. I love it. I'm always watching the YouTube Tigers chat. Thanks for participating. But go check out the Tigers Den as well. I posted a link to the Walmart article that we were talking about earlier in the week, okay? And that Walmart article earlier in the week was talking about the type of PE that was priced into Walmart at 38, okay, which was above Amazon at the time. Now, Walmart had some great numbers except for expectations. You want to hear the great numbers? How about e-commerce sales in the U.S. soaring 20%? Okay, Yeah. How about that being the 11th straight quarter of double-digit gains in e-commerce? Global e-commerce sales up 16%. Okay. Comp sales, same-store sales, 4.6% for Walmart's U.S. businesses. And I'm not the only one loving Sam's. How about Sam's? 6.8% for Sam's, and that excludes fuel, right? But guess what? They're not going to be making as much money as they told the market they were going to make. And when you look at the growth numbers that they're talking about, the growth numbers in particular, here it is. For the upcoming year, Walmart expects overall net sales growth in the range of 3 to 4%, lower than the 5% growth the company saw, and they're looking for adjusted earnings $2.50 to $2.60. That missed the mark of anywhere from $2.79 I was seeing earlier. But nonetheless, you look at these numbers and you tell me that they're growing at a rate faster than Amazon, and you're bumping up against some expectations, to say the least. The other one, how about Palantir, right? Defense spending, 8% a year over the next 5 years. Whew. That is a remarkable number. Now, where are those cuts going to come from? That's where the battle will be over, of course, right? But Palantir trades lower on that, and then you trade lower on the CEO with a selling plan of, I believe it's $1.2 billion. Now, I think he's worth like $10 billion, something like that. But always pay attention. You see it happen, right? Elon unloading Tesla shares at $440 to buy Twitter. NVIDIA, he's got a selling plan in there. Sometimes these companies, man, keep your eye when these executives, especially on a run-up like this, right? You go from 20 to 125, remarkable. And even more than that, from $5 to 125. Remarkable growth. Okay, we jump back to the jobless claims number. So you come in at 219,000, and the continuing claims 1.87 million for February 8th. Now, I bring it up again. It's just a healthy churn. Do not get distracted from the 215 to the 219. 4,000 workers is not going to matter. Jobless claims tick up slightly. It's so marginal to even put a headline like that in line with pre-COVID level. That is a healthy churn of the economy. So not much going on when you look at it to that degree. I talked about the interview on Bloomberg this morning. And yeah, long way from boosting longer-term debt sales. They emphasized medium term. I found it interesting that they were talking about the medium term. I guess they don't want maximum pain in the short term for long term. They want medium term. They're going to focus on the 10-year, etc. And yeah, it was a pretty good interview. And he did say that they're all going to be disinflationary. But time will tell if that's the case. It was an interesting interview if you get the opportunity to check it out. We jump to Microsoft, quantum computing. Google got it done, and now Microsoft claims quantum computing breakthrough by creating new state of matter. We live in interesting times, as they say, man. You jump over to Microsoft shares. Yeah, how about that monthly? How about these monthly charts, right? We put it back to a daily. How about that acceleration yesterday, man? From 408 to 414, up to almost 419, not almost, to 419 on the dot. And yeah, so we're talking about quantum computing again. This one out at about 5:30 last night. They created a chip that leverages a new state of matter. You understand this, right? We're talking about, in the last one that Google did, they were talking about parallel universes, right? That the amount of computations necessary would have to be parallel universes. There's theories out there. Now, a new state of matter that could underpin quantum computers, more powerful than the world's ever seen. Topological superconductor, a material that isn't a solid, liquid, or a gas. Do you hear that?
If you're looking for a
to produce building blocks that can be sealed up into a powerful... Oh, we're at a break. We'll be right back, folks.
You should try. Tommy O'Brien delivers options and equity trades when the markets present them using a combination of fundamentals and technicals. Sign up for Rocket Equities and Options Report today with a 30-day money-back guarantee so you have nothing to risk. For all the details and to start your subscription today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento, a pro's pro with over 50 years of experience. Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
Building wealth trading in the stock market seems impossible to most people. They think it's too volatile and risky. Most people aren't going to take the time to educate themselves on how to do it right. But you're not most people, are you? At TFNN, you'll get the guidance you need to refine your strategies and techniques to invest like a pro. Because you'll be a pro. All TFNN subscriptions, books, software, and courses are available at TFNN.com. And I'm even going to tell you how to get them for less. Use TFNN's Tiger Dollars and you'll get up to a 20% bonus on your purchase. And once you apply them to your account, Tiger Dollars are automatically used for all future or recurring charges. Tiger Dollars also never expire, are fully transferable, and are a great way to add savings to your newsletters or services. Become the investor you were born to be at TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
TFNN has launched the Tiger's Den. Hosted at Discord, TFNN has been educating traders for more than 20 years with live programming hosted by a variety of professional traders during market hours. The Tiger's Den, available to all tigers and tigresses for just $1 for the year. There's no catch or added costs when you join our community of traders. Sign up today and become a part of this educational community of traders. Just visit the front page of TFNN.com.
This portion of the Morning Market Kickoff is brought to you by Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the direction. Visit Direxion.com. Investing in the fund involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risk, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at Direxion.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Welcome back, folks. We got the S&P's negative by 12, NASDAQ 100 off by about 29, and yeah, back to Microsoft. So quantum computing, Microsoft pulling back right now, though, from 419. So much for that acceleration overnight. We're back to 414 right now, and there's that chip, Marjana. Is that how I pronounce it? Marjana? Nonetheless, a new state of matter. Pretty remarkable. It's not for sale, of course. Where do they say it? Yeah. Is a product of a research effort, not for sale, and they outlined that in Nature, a leading scientific journal. We are on the forefront of a lot of cool stuff, for sure. All right, what else were we looking at? Was I here? Yes, I was. I wanted to talk on the last part of this Walmart story I want to touch on. Store brands are generally priced lower than national brands, okay? Gains came as prices in the U.S. ticked up, okay? Meat, eggs, etc., all familiar. Walmart predicts that inflation will tick up 1 to 2% for the current year. The Fed enjoys that, I'm sure. With food increasing more than non-food items. Food's an issue, man. That's something that's always going to persist in people's minds because it sticks out. You always hear the conversation. Milk, eggs. My dad used to tell stories. No, milk, bread, and cigarettes. We're talking the 50s, folks. And he would get a quarter from his mother. 1950s, right? 75 years ago. He was born 75 years ago, but 1 quarter, milk, bread, and cigarettes. And the cigarettes used to be a staple, but milk, bread, eggs, all the likes. But food increasing more. So if food stays hot, it's going to be on people's minds. That's the point there. It's not going away if food stays hot. Inflation ticking up 1 to 2%, but food hotter than that. Pay attention, man. Now this one. So I have an open mind, folks. I'm hoping for the best. And yeah, this government needs cuts everywhere. They need reorganization without a doubt. But it just makes no sense how this stuff happens, man. You have the FBI pick, okay? And he's an investor in Shein. And he divests everything else, and he's not going to divest Shein. In terms of China and the FBI, I don't think that makes sense, okay? He did 9 months of consulting and was compensated with $1 to $5 million. And then he's going to run the FBI, and he's going to keep those shares at the same time. Meanwhile, he divested everything else, which is what makes it kind of ridiculous. Agreed to divest the shares he owns in public companies, Meta, Apple, but he's going to keep his Shine shares. Doesn't make much sense. All right, what else do we have here? Yeah, talking about Zuckerberg. So that was a great point, and I know that was coming up. Zuckerberg did sell a bit. You know, keep your eyes on Palantir, though. Different stories, I think. And correct me if I'm wrong here, but I think he was selling like $14-15 million of shares, which is almost nothing to a man like that, versus selling $1.2 billion in Palantir. Now, at times there's going to be needs, but that is quite a sale versus Zuckerberg. So I think it was something like, 14 million from when I was trying to find the exact numbers, and maybe that's it. But he's had quite a year, and to put it lightly, right? Meta shares, 20 straight days positive. We give back some of that in grand fashion. We talked about it in the program yesterday, right? What do? You trade up for 20 days, and then how many days do you give back? 12, 13 days in a heartbeat, just like that. But still trading right now at about $700 right on the dot. S&P is negative by 13. Let's take a look at that gold contract. So, gold on a weekly, man. We've been talking about it here. 33.50. I think it's happening. Look at this expansion we have going on right now. So this 1-to-1 takes you up to about 33.50. All right, I'm going to take this off for some clarity. Let's take that off. There's your weekly. Look at this volume. Sustained volume on a weekly basis as we continue to rise. 761,000 contracts. 853, 811, 866. Okay, and then last week, 939. Now, it's Thursday, and we're only coming in at 469 right now. So you want to see a little bit more volume. Today, tomorrow, you don't want to see a drop-off like that on that last thrust higher to a nice round number like 3,000 on gold. Check out silver. And silver might be lagging. If gold breaks, silver might really get an acceleration here, because silver is just sitting right where we were basically back last May. So I was talking about the program. You're looking for some silver stocks? Pan American's a good one, man. Basically flat. You're trading at 24.32. You're basically trading right where we were last July. And you're right at the bottom portion of that trend line. I wouldn't give yourself much in these equities. Even trading the market right now, I wouldn't give the market a lot of room on either direction. I think I think this market's struggling at tops right now on a volume basis. You take a look at the S&Ps. Okay, we're coming into the opening bell in 5 minutes. And folks, it's not science, it's an art, okay? Doesn't mean the market's going to crash, but when you're looking, since the acceleration on January 27th, okay, the market trades lower, rebounds, gets it all back, we're higher. That is the definition of no quality volume, okay? Every time we're going up, the volumes are trailing off. Compare that to some of the other accelerations we've had at lows, right? Where you're doing on a daily basis in the S&P, 2 million contracts, 1.7, 1.8. Look at what we've done since, even that 1 day of strength, okay, you do 2.2, but the biggest days since then are 1.6, 1.5, and 1.45. In the last 2 days, you're talking about 1.1 and a million. So keep your eye on that. Coming into the opening bell, but longer term, shorter term, Walmart's a little bit of a wake up. Palantir as well. Different stories, of course, but nothing wrong with Palantir, and that's kind of the jive there, right? Nothing really wrong with Walmart except expectations were all priced to the upside. Nothing really wrong with Palantir except expectations priced all to the upside. Where was the risk premium there that Trump's coming in and he's going to be cutting some defense? Where was the risk that Walmart might not be growing at the rate of Amazon? there are risks out there, man. Jump over to Amazon shares. Now, of course, with Walmart out this morning, I think that's the Walmart hit there in terms of pulling back a bit. So you're going to have Amazon down $2. Target, of course, trading lower. There's your move on the Walmart numbers. Target trading at 129. They saved themselves as well. Wasn't listening to the conference call, but I'm guessing they said something. Conference call began at 8 a.m., and you traded up almost $4 from where that conference call began. Walmart only down about $5 right now, and I say that they've cut the losses in half. You were down to 94. You're trading at 99. I expect we'll get some volatility out of the open. You jump over to some of the other retailers as we come into the open. TJX, TJ Maxx, they are lower by almost $1. Close. They got a bid ask. How about Kohl's? Just never ends. Kohl's actually positive. Look at that. All right, folks, stay tuned. We're coming back for the open. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
This year has already been a wild ride for the market. We started off heavily in the red, reversed back to all-time highs, and we now have a trade war looming. Trying to play this chop as an individual trader leads to death by 1,000 cuts. Where does this market go next? Should I add to this position or cut my losses? Where is the next opportunity? Tariffs? Trade wars? Analysis paralysis. Don't become a victim of this intense market. Instead, join Larry Pesavento for the second and fourth Friday of every month for 3 hours of live trading. Larry has been through many markets just like this one, and the insight he provides is invaluable. The dates for this month are February 14th and 28th, 9 a.m. to noon Eastern Time. Get in here and let's start trading. TFNN, educating investors.
If you spend any time online researching trading techniques on how to begin your trading journey, you've no doubt come across many folks who push Forex trading as a way to make big money quickly. Unfortunately, there are equally as many stories of these so-called Forex professionals just looking to make a quick buck off aspiring traders without actually teaching the ins and outs of the Forex market. This is what sets Teddy Keckstack's The Tiger Forex Report off the riffraff. Every Monday, former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member and author Teddy Keckstack releases his Tiger Forex Report newsletter, where he dives into the complex world of Forex and takes time to actually teach you his methods that have made him so successful in the fast-paced and rewarding world of Forex trading. Furthermore, all subscribers receive access to archived live streams of Teddy's, where he provides university-level education to help you in Forex trading. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So what are you waiting for? Forex awaits.
Steve Rhodes started his trading career as a student almost 20 years ago, and the student has now become the master. Steve won the prestigious Timer of the Year award in 2018 and barely missed that mark again in 2019, finishing at number 2 for the year. An amazing accomplishment. Steve Rhodes is committed to sharing his techniques and knowledge with anyone who wants to learn, and he shares his vast amount of trading knowledge every day in his Mastering Probability newsletter. Steve's award-winning newsletter, Mastering Probability, is delivered every trading day with updates throughout the afternoon. Sign up for Steve's market newsletter, Mastering Probability, and you'll receive access to 7 of Steve's educational webinars absolutely free. At TFNN, all our newsletters come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have absolutely nothing to worry about. Visit TFNN.com and try Mastering Probability 30 days risk-free today. TFNN, educating investors.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV.
Welcome back, folks. We got markets open. S&Ps kick things off down 14 points. NASDAQ 100 off by 43. Dow off by 152 right now. Jump over to Walmart shares down about 4.8%. Jump over to Target off 1.8%. Amazon shares down 1 percentage point. You jump over to Microsoft flat on the session. Apple shares up by 0.4%. So Apple, yeah, they announced the new lower cost version. I was just reading it, wasn't I? Where was I? They got a new iPhone. Yeah, it was. There it is. There it is. I think this is going to become more prevalent, man. The more I think about the needs of a phone, it's going to be hard for them to differentiate some of these services unless they really start ramping it up. And we're going to jump to a couple here. So Apple's got to deal with OpenAI, right? Now, OpenAI tops 400 million users. If you haven't checked out ChatGPT or some of these services, folks, you got to just check it out. It is the future, okay? In the same way that computers were the future at one point, the internet was the future at one point, everything's going to be okay. The economy will adapt. People will figure out whether it's a services economy that adapts, right? Creativity, whatever it comes in the face of AI, definitely taking over some of the jobs. That increases margins, productivity, etc. $599. That's your cheap iPhone now. Remarkable. But guess what? It's powerful enough to run AI. Yeah. Think about it. People have been paying $1,200 for some time. You're going to get a phone for $600. It's going to have the A18 chip, and it's going to run AI. Yeah. And guess what? It used to be $429. But it's still $200 less than the other current AI-enabled phones. Why are you going to, anyway. So what it goes, Apple catching a little bit of a lift there. You jump over to Bitcoin. So MicroStrategy. You talk about strategy, I should say now, right? Bitcoin, last 48 hours, you're up by $5,000. You're up another $1,895 today. You put this thing on a daily. We've just been chopping around this 98,000 mark since about November 21st. Think about that, right? You get the Trump bump. There's the first one. So Bitcoin comes into that at about 70,000. Remarkable. You trade up to 110. You're back to 98. Okay, let's just take this off for a second. Let's just see if we go back to the move we got just from the start of this move coming into the election. What kind of a retracement we're dealing with. Yeah, look at that. Right at the 382. So you're sitting at 98,150. Now, I bring this up in particular because strategy, they're up by 1.8%. Now, well off. I mean, look how many people bought MicroStrategy. They're in a losing position dramatically right now. Look at the volume numbers, okay? And just take that spike out of the equation. You're still talking about mammoth. Tens of millions of shares traded at hundreds of dollars, and you're trading at 326, which almost means anybody that's been trading MicroStrategy outside of a few lucky souls down there on Christmas, New Year's Eve, okay, is in a losing position. Compare that to Bitcoin, okay, when it's close. Yeah, you've had a couple small spikes, but you make the point, okay? Now, you go back to MicroStrategy, and this is just a story of buyer beware. You're trading intraday. You're looking for volatility. You're keeping your stops tight. You're risking capital that you can lose. I'm sure you can trade MicroStrategy profitably if you can trade Bitcoin profitably, okay? But at some point, there's going to be a bit of a reckoning, especially with MicroStrategy. $2 billion of convertible bonds at a 35% conversion premium, okay? The premium is in reference to the volume-weighted average price of $321. Yeah, which it was trading at. And it came in below the 40 to 50% range that the company was looking for, okay? So think about it. People are providing them debt that's convertible only if they keep going up to the tune of billions of dollars. They're not getting the convertible rates that they used to in terms of the premium because people aren't willing to pay it anymore. And they have 2.5% all of Bitcoins outstanding, worth more than $46 billion. Yet, when you go over to the company, they're currently valued at almost double that, of $84 billion. And there was a time, not that long off, that they were trading basically at net asset value of Bitcoins, which would bring them back 50% right now. That's the one thing you got to realize. The amount of Bitcoins they own are not worth $84 billion. Okay? So I always bring that up. Nothing wrong with rocking out with some Bitcoin, man. Get some Bitcoin. Longer term, go for it. Get some Bitcoin. Maybe go buy an ETF like IBIT. What's the fee on IBIT right now? I'll pull it up. Very, very low. Let's see. Nah, it's taking me 2 seconds. Okay, they want me to accept all their cookies. That's all I'm trying to see. Because I think that's the one with the, I mean, look at the volume that iBit's doing. Look at this, man. 29 million, 38 million, 118 million on January 23rd. I know they started off with 0.25 potentially. I think it is. I'll pull it up. But that's the way to do it. Got markets trailing off a bit. NASDAQ 100. Yeah, that was quite an opening bar. We're going to get a little volatility right now. Let's check back in on Walmart shares. Down 5.7%. Target closet back. Only down about 0.8% right now. Amazon down a percentage point. Apple in the positive. Tesla shares, ooh, there's a little drop off 1.3. NVIDIA, can't hold NVIDIA down. Up by 0.4% right now for NVIDIA shares. Let's check out the airlines. Delta holding up pretty well, $65. Just been chopping around at this price level since November 14th. American with a little bit of a pullback there. So JetBlue and Spirit, they're going to get it done. JetBlue down by 1.3% right now. We catch the pop a couple days ago. New regulators, they might get a deal done. That's quite a bar you're coming into, man. Right? But guess what? Regulators, government, it'd be the same thing as fighting the Fed, right? You look at a chart. Regulators change overnight. Maybe they do get a deal done with Spirit, and that's a game changer sometimes. Yeah, how about Alibaba, man? Look at this run, right? You're talking about from 80 to 140. You're up 75% from where we were January 13th. The only thing I will say is you could have been up 50, 60% in September, right? Volatility persists. You're going to see it play out. But, yeah, they're catching quite a bit, well over the highs we had in October. But keep this chart in mind as well, okay? You're trading Alibaba. You're now back into an area between 150 and 200, and I'm ballparking, okay? You're right back to the lows of 2018. And look at the stretch that you have in here to break through, to get above 150 to 200. You basically have an area that you traded in from October of 2017 until you broke out, and really the COVID acceleration, 2020. You were slightly above that area when COVID hit, and you break out of it there. It's going to face some headwinds, so be careful on Baba. Again, you got quick fingers intraday. You got some action, man. Alibaba up another 12% on their numbers. NASDAQ 100 off by 61. Stay tuned, folks. We'll take a look at some equities. We'll be right back.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the opening call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
For traders who crave risk, Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs provide opportunities to magnify short-term perspectives with up to 3 times a daily leverage, utilize bull and bear funds from both sides of the trade, and trade through rapidly changing markets. These are highly leveraged ETFs with daily resetting designed for short-term trading, not long-term investing. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the Direxion. For up-to-date pricing and performance, go to Direxion.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risk, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at Direxion.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC. Are you ready to take charge of your financial future? TFNN is your gateway to the world of trading and investing. Whether you're starting out or scaling up, TFNN empowers traders and investors of all skill levels with top-notch investing systems, strategies, and techniques. It's time to protect and grow your money with insight you can trust. Join us live Monday through Friday during market hours for exclusive content that moves with the markets. At TFNN, we bring the trading floor to you. Our seasoned hosts are here to answer your calls and questions live on the air. Check out the Tiger's Den for just $1 and follow us on YouTube and become part of our vibrant community. And remember, at TFNN, we're so confident in the value we provide that we offer a 30-day money-back guarantee on all new premium newsletter subscriptions and services. You have absolutely nothing to risk, so why wait? Tune in live to Tiger TV and transform your trading journey. Because when you know better, you invest better. Join us and experience the difference today. TFNN, educating investors.
This program is brought to you by Vista Gold, traded on the NYSE American and TSX under the symbol VGZ.
Welcome back, folks. We got the NASDAQ 100 bouncing from those lows, negative by 39 points right now, 22,211. S&P's off by about 17 right now. Dow off by 195. And Walmart shares dropping off the open, off by 6.3%. And this is what happens if you're trading at a forward multiple of 38, okay? And for those in the den, if you scroll up, around the time early this morning, you'll see the Walmart link, which is the Wall Street Journal article just from earlier this week. But if you go over it, okay, and what it goes to is the forward pricing of their earnings in that equity way above historically what it's been at, where it's even above Amazon. Very difficult to live up to. And then what happens? You miss on earnings. The last thing you want to be doing is missing on earnings expectations and growth expectations if you're priced with a PE above Amazon, right? Remarkable. So a little bit of a pullback, but yeah, we need a little bit of a repricing if they're not going to grow at that multiple that they're currently priced into. And yeah, that brings to Palantir. So Palantir, yeah, dropping again, off 8%. So be careful here. And I say that because, you know, and the CEO is a big Trump fan. I don't think Trump would let this get decimated from a public appearance standpoint alone. But the numbers here are pretty dramatic when you look that Palantir's U.S. government segment growth, more than 40% in the past 2 quarters, has huge exposure, okay? The government sales make up more than half of the company's total revenue. So every other customer they have doesn't even equal what they take in from the government. So if it hits their plans, you talk about being all your eggs in one basket. When the times are good, they're good. When the times are bad, they're bad. So be careful of that one. You know, we got this gap out there from 80 on their last earnings. It's been quite a run, right? You back it up. Every earning since August, and even prior, we were at $5. But when you see something like that, and everything's on the table, you had the Treasury Secretary saying it today, his reply, and it should be on the table. That should be a standard reply. Everything somewhat should be on the table to some degree. It's almost saying the same thing as that everything has a price. Everything's on the table depending on the consequences, right, and how that contributes. But we got a little weakness. We got a little weakness in these markets right now. Just like that, the NASDAQ gives it up that little bounce, and we're at session lows off by about 1/3%. S&P's off by about 0.4%, 61.37. The Dow drops. We just got some selling, man. Look at that. Dow just dropped 130 points from where we were 10 minutes ago. Gold contract, a little bit of a rebound. You were all the way down at 29.40 when I was getting, when I kicked off the program. We're up at 29.55. We check in on yields. I may sneeze here. Excuse me. I did sneeze. I was able to hit my mute button just in time. The 10-year ticking up a bit. We're sitting with a 10-year yield about 4.52%, and we keep our eye on the dollar. Yeah, keep your eye on the dollar today. You get a decisive break lower, this dollar looks weak. Just taking a moment to look at that chart, man. Look at these lows where we are. Of course, you don't have volume on the dollar index here, but you're creeping well into this price level right now, well off where we were at 110. You're off more than 3 full points in the dollar, and that's a weekly. You put things back to a daily here. And you have this area in your way from November, and just like that, we're back to pre-election at 104. Jumping around some of the other chip stocks. Intel, of course, haven't quite a moment. Backing off a bit, off by 1.3% right now. OpenAI. So check this out. If you haven't tried this, and this is where I'm still, and I'd love any feedback. I talked to Jacob about this, right? Talked to my friends about this. OpenAI, as I mentioned, if you haven't tried it, folks, free service, ChatGPT, okay? What's so cool is I've started doing things where you can upload PDFs. You can upload PDFs of almost any size, 10 pages, 100 pages, 2,000 pages, okay? And you can ask it to go into that data, analyze it, give you trends, give you this, give you that. It takes a long time sometimes. If you're Googling it, it's telling you sometimes it's taking longer than there's no computation actually going. It's not processing anything for days in the background, but you can actually upload, all right? And you can do so much more than that. About 400 million weekly active users. I'm actually surprised it's so low, to be fair. I find myself going to this product so much more often than I go to Google at this point. It's remarkable that overnight they could steal internet search, but they are going to end up stealing, and Google's going to have it too. They're going to have Gemini, etc. But I don't know if I can do it for Google Gemini. I guess I probably can. If anybody's got any feedback in the den, the Tiger's Den, I'll check out that Perplexity, Steve. I haven't checked it out. I appreciate you saying it. I have not checked out Perplexity. And it's funny, first mover, right? First mover. Who got me? ChatGPT. All I do is talk about ChatGPT. First mover, it's always a big one, but no, I thank you for sharing it, and I do. I got to check it out in the same way. But I've never seen something like that. Imagine that, right? You have a 2,000-page PDF. You have, whether it's, you could upload an earnings call. Let's put it this way. Let's say Elon has an earnings call and he goes on a rant for 6 hours about Tesla, and he starts at midnight and he does it until 6 o'clock in the morning. Imagine there's going to be a moment, and we are right there right now, where you could get the script of that. You could upload it. It could give you a summation. It could give you the most important points from a bullish standpoint. It could give you the most important points from a bearish standpoint. It could read 1,000 pages. It could do it in a moment and give you the output. And that's what I found, man. You know, you think about the implications of that. It is remarkable. So 400 million for OpenAI and Microsoft. Yeah. And you look at, Microsoft, even positive as the market pulls back. Look at this. They catch a bid, man. Microsoft up by 0.5% right now, as the NASDAQ is down 0.5% right now. And you break below this level, okay? We're going back to 21.9. You got 200. You got 1% in this market could be wiped out in an instant. And you look at Walmart, you look at Palantir, two of the darlings getting decimated today. And as I mentioned, look at the numbers in Walmart. Okay, those numbers I talk about in Sam's. Think about it. Sam's same store sales almost 7% excluding fuel. Remarkable number. I was already spending a lot of money a year ago. Am I spending 7% more at Sam's? Maybe I am. I guess I am on the average, right? The average person is. Big numbers, but guess what? This morning, we're getting a little bit of a wake up. And hey, tie that in with, you don't think that CEO knows that defense spending might be coming and all of their money relies on government spending? All right. Longer term, seems like they're an outstanding company that's probably going to get plenty of government money. But here's the problem. Okay? We got 15 seconds to break. Think about this. This company's valued at $250 billion. $250 billion. And they get more than half of that money from the government. That means the government side of their valuation alone, and of course there's growth in there, but yeah, you're talking about hundreds of billions. Big numbers, man. Markets in the red. We're coming right back, folks.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the opening call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
Steve Rhodes started his trading career as a student almost 20 years ago, and the student has now become the master. Steve won the prestigious Timer of the Year award in 2018 and barely missed that mark again in 2019, finishing at number 2 for the year. An amazing accomplishment. Steve Rhodes is committed to sharing his techniques and knowledge with anyone who wants to learn, and he shares his vast amount of trading knowledge every day in his Mastering Probability newsletter. Steve's award-winning newsletter, Mastering Probability, is delivered every trading day with updates throughout the afternoon. Sign up for Steve's market newsletter, Mastering Probability, and you'll receive access to 7 of Steve's educational webinars absolutely free. At TFNN, all our newsletters come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have absolutely nothing to worry about. Visit TFNN.com and try Mastering Probability 30 days risk-free today. TFNN, educating investors.
The reality is that navigating financial markets can be risky. Markets can be chaotic and difficult to understand. Having the latest market advice can help you turn this chaos into a key for creating winning trades. At TFNN, we understand that it can be hard to find reliable market news. That's why each of our market experts offers their very own market newsletter, a must-have tool for every trader out there striving to find an edge in today's markets. TFNN newsletters cover every aspect of the markets so you can analyze the market before you trade. Try any of our great newsletters risk-free with our 30-day money-back guarantee. Just visit the Newsletters tab on the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV.
Welcome back, folks. We got a little bit of a sell-off going on right now. Look at this market. That is a drop for you, man. We just dropped 170 points from where we were at the start of that open at 9:30. You were 22,220. 22,060 right now in the markets. You're off by 0.9% in the NASDAQ 100, 0.6% in the Dow in the red, 0.6% in the S&Ps. The Russell off by more than a percentage point. Look at that drop, man. Right on the open. You jump over to gold, catching a bid. Up to 29.53. Gold makes an all-time high at 29.73 overnight. And we take a look at notes and bonds. And we're sitting right at about 4.52. And yeah, keep your eye on the dollar, as I've been saying. Looks like we're leading to lower price than the dollar at 106.77 right now in the dollar. Check in on Walmart. And it's not stopping. They haven't really found a bid yet. We're continuing to drop with Walmart off by 6.5% right now for Walmart shares. And yeah, how about Harmony? They're talking about gold in the den, MRAS. I would agree. Look at Harmony, man. Up by 5%. And yeah, I've been watching this one. We do not own it yet in the gold report. But looking at that one. for sure. Saying, how do you not break above that 1250 area? Yeah. You look at this thing on a daily, okay? You take a look at this volume. It was nice to see. You're pulling back from those highs, right? Lower volume yesterday. You catch a pop. We'll see how the volume comes in on Harmony. And on a weekly basis, the question there, last week, great question, right? You look at the volume we had at the highs, 19 million, 22 million. This is on a weekly basis, okay? You come into those highs, 42 million. The problem is, what happened? You have the high there, okay? You have the high there, but then look at that rejection we got with some decent volume. It's the only thing I'm keeping my eye on. But guess what? Quite a move today. Harmony shares up by 5% with gold making all-time highs. A little bit of weakness in this market right now. We'll finish it up with the VIX. 1591. Still pretty muted VIX. Walmart. Price for expectations. Decent numbers, but price for expectations. All right, folks, stay tuned. Basil's out. We're going to replay right now. We got our man Steve Rhodes coming up after that. Fast Market. We got our man Larry Pesavento. Jacob Shoup this afternoon. Have a great Thursday, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow, everybody.